glad you're here. Here to talk about the shootout a little bit. If you're not aware of it, the Water Patrol Division is tasked with permitting regatta events, and our definition of regatta event is really any marine event on the water, whether it be a boat race or a bass tournament, whatever the case. So by statute, that is, we do have the authority to permit those events. And the patrol will ultimately make the decision on permitting this event, and we'll decide what changes we're going to make. But we chose to have this event so we could get the input from the public, from those who are affected most by the event.
The shootout, we work a lot of volunteer hours for Ron to put it on, and we get about $20,000 a year. About a third of our budget comes from there. But that allows us to buy equipment for our Kaufman and Fire Association, a rescue van, tankers, pumpers. The average age of our volunteers is 72. So when we do CPR 4 or 5 times a year on individuals who need it, we have a problem with some of our guys getting tired. So this year we managed to buy, with our donation, an auto pulse machine, which is an auto CPR, which has helped us tremendously. So I appreciate the dock owners who have lost equipment, and hopefully we can do something to solve that. But the shootout, like Ron said, is a wonderful thing for us, and we'd just like to express our support for that. Thank you.
I want to thank everybody for coming and showing your interest in the shootout, and it's just a fantastic event. We have talked about damage and stuff in our meetings. We have meetings that start typically now about January this month, and they go all the way through October. We take a couple months off in the winter, but we talk about this issue almost every single meeting. We talk about what we can do to make not only the course safer for the guys that are running in the race, in the event, but also what we can do to make it safe for the public, make it safe for all of our neighbors. When we first got this event, I went around to just about every neighbor in that entire area and just talked to them individually and told them what they could expect and what was going to happen. As this event continues to grow and has become world renowned now as one of the greatest boating events in the country, it does create some issues. The boats on the water just keep getting more and more and more. And so each year we look at that and we think, we've moved the no wake zone from the 32-mile marker to the 31-mile marker to the 30-mile marker. And we tried this last year to move it even further during a part of the evening when everybody was letting out. But so it's something that we talk about every year, and I just want you to know it's not something that's just come up this year and all of a sudden we need to deal with it. We as a committee, and Captain Walls is on that committee, discuss this each and every year and what we can do. So we value your input. We always have valued your input, and we certainly want that today. We want to be constructive in this and make sure that we're coming up with solutions to the problem. We can all complain about everything, but we want to have solutions to this issue, and we're all willing. And it's not just me; it's our entire committee, which is 40-some people heavy, that help put on this event, or at least coordinate this event, along with the 670 volunteers that we have. This event continues to raise more and more money for the community. It's literally $4 to $8 million impact on that weekend of the shootout. Since we took it over 9 years ago, we have donated back to about 40 different organizations, $943,000 back to this community. So it's a great event. We want to keep it a great event, but we also want to continue to make it a very safe event for everybody that comes, and not only our neighbors, because our neighbors are the ones that are also impacted by it. So we appreciate all the support that we have for the shootout around this entire community. We certainly couldn't do it without the help of the Water Patrol and the Coast Guard and the fire departments that are involved in this. And we've always tried to keep the integrity of the event. We certainly want to continue to do that.
There's just, there's several thousand boats that typically attend the event, and they're all leaving in the same direction. And once they get outside the no wake area, then many of them are plowing or traveling on plane, and it just gets extremely rough. And we continue to get more complaints each year. Honestly, we did not get very many complaints in the past, but in about the last 2 or 3 years, those complaints have continued to go up, and we're listening to what people have to say about it. There's been docks that have collapsed at times, dock cables snapped, just a lot of different damage as a result of the spectator boats leaving. So we're certainly going to try to address that. As a public safety agency, we're concerned about the boating traffic as well, and it's very difficult for a small boat to navigate in these conditions anymore, as rough as it's gotten when the shootout is letting out. And of course, the docks it's a public safety concern as well with, if we get a dock collapse or something like that, and that's certainly possible. So we're going to try to address some of these issues. We have not made a decision on this. One idea that we're looking at is potentially extending the no-wake area from around 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday of the event to the 26-mile mark to try to slow that traffic down that's leaving the event. If there's any business owners that are downstream from the event that when we get to public comment, if you want to give your opinion on that, I would certainly like to hear it.
General manager at Tanterre Resort, and we've supported the Shootout for years, and think that it is a great event, not only for Tanterre but for the entire lake area. And I've had some conversations with Matt as well, and we are on the 26-mile marker. That's right where the no wake would possibly end, and we would support that as well. We do see a lot of traffic, and Saturday is probably the roughest day of the year for Tanterre when it comes to our docks. And a lot of the damage that you don't see until the next year. And we're all kind of in the same boat. But really what you're suggesting, I really think would benefit by breaking it up, having those leave early, some leave late. I think this is a very good answer to the challenge that we have. And once again, just for the community, I'm involved in the CVB and Tri-County Lodging Association. And I've been here for over 20 years, and the Shootout is just a wonderful event. It's grown into something that you'd mentioned worldwide. We see customers that come in a week ahead of time, stay with us. We remove our rental fleet out of our docks to accommodate boats that are coming in just for the Shootout. And that particular weekend, without the Shootout, would be a pretty slow weekend for the Lake of the Ozarks from a revenue standpoint. Kids go back to school, and we see a dip in the amount of traffic, not only for Tanterre but Lake of the Ozarks. So it does fit the community as far as the date and the time of the event, and I think it's a positive thing. We just need to figure out how to continue the positive effort and make it safe.
Complex on the 29-mile marker, and it's a weekend where there's 34 owners in this complex, and we just can't we can't get out. I mean, our docks are, I think it was 3 years ago that we had severe damage to our docks, our walkways, broken cables and so forth, and we have no recourse. So it's we don't have a deep cove right on the 29, and it's just maybe doing 26 at the 26 would help. But it's all weekend. It's not just Saturday. So that's all I've got.
Okay.
The man that just spoke, we're from the same condominium complex on mile marker 29. It's gotten to the point where people in our condominium remove their boats. We have had cable snap, like he said. Not just that, but with the poker run, we get hit with that. We get hit with their tuning up of their go-fast boats for the Shootout in front of our condo complex, which you can't sit, you can't talk, you have to keep everything closed up, you can barely hear the TV, and it's very annoying because then they gather a crowd in front of us.
Which is right on the point, right where the old no wake used to let out. And fortunately my dock hasn't had damage, but it bounces up and down about 3 or 4 feet when those boats, gun it and get out of there. Last year, I was really excited that it was going to be moved downstream. And normally we go with other people, we meet them other places because there's no way we get on and off our dock when it's bouncing like that. So we've been meeting them other places, but last year we said, well, no wake, we'll just do it on our own dock right there. Well, sure enough, as he says, Custer's last stand, I mean, there was just no way that it worked. And I think my only comment is, it's too great an event not to do, but there has to be some way of communicating to all the boaters who are out there before and during the event that this is a no-wake zone all the way to the 30 or the 26 or whatever you're going to make it. But I think so many out-of-towners are there, they don't know.